This is a total body strength and conditioning session designed for your ovulatory phase. This is the midpoint of your performance arc. So we are in that peak performance, peak training mode where we have estrogen surging. So we get the benefits of this anabolic muscle building hormone, and we have a slight bump in testosterone to help with things like stamina and energy levels. So we do have that high performance training mode available. If, however, you are hitting that estrogen surge with feeling a bit flatlined, maybe the arousal energy in mind and body is producing a bit of anxiety, or you feel that sense of overwhelm, there's also a different training mode available. So I'll kind of explain both options in today's practice so you can take what feels best for you so that you can serve your body with this practice. So the high performance mode, you're going to be reaching for heavy weights. You're going to be looking to perform as many quality reps as possible within each working interval, where you're working to that max heart rate. You're in that high intensity zone for most of that 20-minute period in our strength session. If you're wanting to take more of the slow release mode, you're moving more slowly, maybe you're not completing as many reps, maybe you're working with lighter weights or no weight at all. You're just moving through each of these patterns to improve circulation and to give the arousal energy in body and mind an exit strategy. So we give it a way to work, to move through your body, to clear anything that's feeling stuck, and to kind of alleviate that sensation, that wired, tired feeling that can arise around ovulation. The structure of this workout is a reverse pyramid. So we have 50-second working intervals in the first round, then we drop down to 40 and then to 30. We're pairing those intervals with 20 seconds of rest in each round. So our first round is 7 minutes, then 6, then 5. So it should get progressively easier. You should feel maybe like you can pick up the pace and dig a little deeper in those last few rounds. We are combining upper and lower body movements with each exercise today. And we do that to drive up the intensity. The body is working both upper and lower extremities at the same time. So it's great work for circulation. It's called peripheral heart action, where you're having to pump blood to both extremities at the same time. So it's good for cardiovascular conditioning, and it supports your metabolic efficiency. So these higher intensity sessions for this short period of time is a great way to help kind of fine-tune your metabolism, give your metabolism a tune-up before we get into the luteal phase where things start to shift. So it's that time in the cycle where if you're feeling high energy, you can get away with pushing a little bit harder, especially for this short period of time. The working section, that workout part of today's video is only 20 minutes. So you've got your 5-minute warm up, your 5-minute cool down, 20 minutes of work for 30 minutes of a complete session. So you can get it done in that shorter amount of time. With our quick transitions, there's not a whole lot of time for cueing. I'm also very out of breath, so not able to speak quite as fluidly throughout the practice. So I've included a movement tutorial in the description of this video below. That one is going to break down each movement pattern in detail. It will also give you alternatives. Some of these movement patterns are slightly more advanced. So if you're new to strength training, maybe you're coming back after a long period off, I encourage you to tune into that movement tutorial before you're ready to work out so you know how to modify. I'll try to offer those modifications in the practice itself, but it's much easier to digest when you're not kind of thinking about working hard and making those modifications at the same time. So I like to use that movement tutorial as a way to empower you to choose the variations that are right for your body on this specific day. So for your weights, I'll just quickly mention the equipment that you'll need. If you're going for the high performance mode, you're wanting to lift heavy. So I have a set of 20-pound dumbbells and a set of 30-pound dumbbells that I'm using and alternating between. Some of our exercises use both, some use just a single dumbbell. So it's nice to have that heavier weight range in the single dumbbell exercises. If you're taking more of that slow release, you can go light or no weight at all. So really there's kind of a wide spectrum available for how you might approach this workout. So go ahead, grab your equipment, and let's get into this workout. Let's jump right into our total body warm up for your strength training session today. Start in the center of your workout space. Feet are about shoulder width apart. We're going to take a big inhale, reach the arms overhead, interlace your fingers, press your palms to the ceiling. We've got a squat here. Squat it down, keep that chest upright, lift up and side bend. So squat, press the palms to the sky and bend to the side. I want you to keep that chest elevated. Sit back into your chair. Let the knees track over the toes. Just start to feel the rhythm of your breath. Generate a little bit of heat. Squatting down and lifting up and out of the pelvis to your side bend. Next, we're going to keep those arms overhead. We're simply going to step back and draw the elbows into your sides for that lat pull down. So nice and easy here to start. It doesn't have to be super quick. It's dynamic. We're moving to get the blood pumping, to bring the heart rate up just a little bit, and also just to warm the body from the inside out. So you're reaching down, really engaging the lats here as you pull the elbows behind you. Last one. Come up, bring your hands behind your head, take your elbows nice and wide. Feet are still shoulder width apart. Let's twist to one side. Keep your hips facing forward. Really press your head into your hands. Free the upper back. Then come through center, big inhale. As you exhale, twist to the other side. So you can hear it in the rhythm of my breath. We're already starting to kind of take that heart rate up, start to make that climb. And release. Let's come to the back of the mat. Walk out, push up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, walk it out. You can keep the knees down to start if you like, or come up onto the toes. Reaching up, big inhale, and exhale, coming down. Push up and walk it back. Excellent job. Keep going. Let's get one more here. Push up and walk it back. This time, as you come down, I want you to lower into your tabletop. Let's inhale, soften the belly, stretch the spine, look up. And then as you exhale, start to round into cat, but hover the knees. Really press down and dome the upper back. Inhale, soften the belly, gaze up, shine the sitting bones back. Exhale, close that gap between hip points and low ribs. Round the spine, chin to chest, hover the knees. Last one, inhale. And exhale, round. Let those knees hover, really push down into the floor. From here, we're going to walk it out, unfold into your downward dog, just coming into a plank launch. So we roll it forward into plank, and then bend the knees, bring your hips towards your heels. Launch it forward, shoulders over the wrists. Big inhale and exhale. So I want you to feel that stretch in the shoulders, that strength in the legs, all the while activating, integrating that core center. Last one like this, launch it forward. And then we're going to take the right foot, step it forward, twist that right arm open. And then here, I want you to really feel the depth of that lunge, separation between your thigh bones. And then we start to circle the arm nice and big through that right shoulder. So you're getting that full range of motion. You might switch the direction, bring it forward. Feel the chest open as you come through the top. Last one like this. And then we'll turn to the long edge of your mat, come into a side lunge. Here, we're pressing the arms forward, coming up through center, stretch the chest, and push, and push. So we go side to side. I want you to feel the stretch in the chest, and then the contraction. So imagine you're pushing a wall or pushing some load away. Breathe out as you push. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Turning over the left leg now. Coming into that nice deep lunge, opening the left arm. Feel the strength in your lunge first, and then start to circle that arm up, out, and around. Breathing here. Make sure your hips are staying square to the front of your mat, square to the floor here. Just twisting that torso. So we're getting kind of that articulation of the rib cage separate from the pelvis. And then take both hands down, come into your bear plank once again. Knees are hovering. We're simply going to walk the feet out to plank, walk them back in. That's the first part. Then when we come out to plank, we'll open side plank to the other side, roll on the toes, side plank. Walk it in, bear plank. Walk it out, side plank. I want you to hug the shoulder blades together behind you so you feel that activation in the back. Walk it in and out. Last one to each side. Then I want you to slowly walk your feet to your hands. Bring your hands to your knees. Roll up nice and easy all the way to standing. Let's enjoy a huge breath in and a slow breath out. I don't know about you, but I'm already starting to feel that nice warmth happening from the inside out. And that means we are ready to move into your workout next. You are warmed up and ready to go, so let's begin this total body workout. This is a quick one. It's just 20 minutes for the working phase of this session. So be ready to work for that shorter period of time. You want to make sure you have some heavy resistance to work with. I've got a set of 20-pound and a set of 30-pound dumbbells. We're combining upper and lower body movements to create that element of power and to drive the intensity up. So this will be a conditioning workout as well. You'll feel it in your heart and lungs. We have several different exercises, 6 to be exact, that we're moving through a pyramid structure. So the first round is going to be 50 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. Second round will be 40, then 30. Each one has that 20-second rest interval. It's just enough to move you to the next exercise. So just get ready to be working pretty solid through that full 20 minutes. I'll get our timer started here. Our first exercise is going to be a squat, a gorilla squat with a curl to press alternating. So that's how we're combining upper and lower body. Our lower body has both dumbbells working. The upper body, we're alternating sides. So I want your feet slightly wider than shoulder width. The weight is going to come right down between the feet, almost to the ground in that gorilla squat. And then we're doing a hammer curl to press. Let's get ready. In 3, 2, and 1. We squat it down, curl, and press. So right away you should notice, if you went heavy with that weight, the curl to press is going to be the limiting phase of this exercise. So it should feel heavy. It should feel challenging. You can even use some of the momentum from that squat to curl that weight up. This first round is going to be the longest one. It's 7 minutes long because we're working through 50-second intervals. So be ready for that. Keep your chest lifted, sitting back into that chair, watching out for your form. So the intervals are really just to give us the structure. I want you to move as slowly and as smoothly as you need to. And last one, rest. You might alternate the sides that you start with each round just to make sure you even it out. Let's grab a single heavy weight. We're coming into our staggered deadlift with a single row. So one leg is forward, weight is in the opposite side. You send that foot back, other arm's there for balance. We deadlift. Here we go. Hinge at the hips, pull that elbow straight back to the hip, and release, hip extension. We come down, keep the elbow hugging into your sides, and pull it up. I want you to keep those hips as best as you can over that front heel so that you're not leaning too far back. This weight is heavy. If you don't have super heavy loads at home, I encourage you to keep both dumbbells for this exercise, even if you're just doing the row on one side. So you could have a dumbbell in each of your hands. For me, with the 30 pounds, this feels pretty good. Could probably go just a touch heavier. But again, the limiting factor is that row. And rest here. Set the weight down for a moment. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll switch the hand that is holding that heavy weight and the leg that is forward. We're moving in just 10 seconds. Grab your weight. Come into that staggered stance. So it's not a huge step, just a slight step behind. And let's begin. We fold it in half. Bring that elbow straight back and come up. Fold the body in half, reach the crown of the head forward, and extend the hips. Here we go. Find your rhythm. Again, Doesn't have to be fast. I don't want the intervals to create a sense of urgency. They're really just helping keep us on track so we can get a full workout, warm up, cool down, all within that 30 minutes. We've got 20 more seconds here. Really want you to load that front foot. So imagine almost like you could lift those back toes off the floor. It's that lightweight in the back foot. All the work is happening in that front leg. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Set your weight down for a moment. Our next exercise is going to be a reverse lunge with a twist to a tricep extension. So our starting position is going to be with a single dumbbell. We're pressing that weight overhead. I drop down to my lighter weight here. 2 and 1. You step back across your front hip, reach it up, tricep extension. Keep the elbows in parallel tracks. Reach it up, twist. This can be slow. I want you to stay in control of the dumbbell. I don't want it to be swinging or pulling you, especially as we move through that rotation component. We want to protect the lower back by really engaging the belly. So before you even step back, I want you to draw the belly in. Keep that as you come through the movement. This reverse lunge twist is one of my favorites for establishing control in the obliques, control through the spine. Last 3, 2, and 1. Set that weight down. Coming up on our next exercise, which is a side lunge with an upright row. A couple of options here. You can use a single weight and just switch hands each time. I'm going to use my lighter set of dumbbells and work both weights together with a single upright row. So we step it out, sit back, chest up, and then I'm taking the opposite arm up. We step out, sit back, and then opposite arm. So again, just like that squat, curl to press, the limiting factor should be that upright row. You want the weight to be heavy enough that you're feeling the challenge in the side lunge, but it needs to be manageable for alternating that upright row. Keep that weight close to your body. Keep the elbows more neutral so you're not tipping the elbows up, but you're taking the elbows out to the side, staying nice and open, externally rotated through the shoulders. One more to keep it even. Here we go. And rest. Next up, conditioning burst. You're going to take your heavy dumbbells on either side of your feet. We're moving through a sprawl, but without the push-up. So we're going to come down, hop or step the feet back to plank, hop or step forward to your dumbbell deadlift. Here we go, 2, 1. So we come down, either step back and forward, dumbbell deadlift. Straight up, straight down, hop back, forward, deadlift. So I want you to feel heart, belly, chest on the thighs. The spine is straight. It lifts together. So you're not curving the spine, just unfolding from that deadlift position. You can pick up the pace, trying to get more reps. If you want to take out the impact, you're just stutter stepping back and forward, lifting it up in that heavy deadlift. Definitely feeling those hamstrings here. This is our peak performance ovulatory phase where we're stepping into that power element by adding that conditioning burst. The best news is we have a full minute of recovery after this 20-second recovery interval. So you are catching your breath. That one was a burner for the heart and lungs. So I want you to maybe take some laps around your workout space, roll out the shoulders, anything that is going to support that quick recovery, that drop of your heart rate back down to a baseline. So you're lengthening your exhales. You're maybe enjoying some spinal rolls here, just whatever you need to slow things down, maybe stretching the chest and shoulders. Our next round is going to be just 40 seconds. So it's a 6-minute round from start to finish. Should feel a lot quicker. Got about 30 more seconds. before we'll jump right back into that squat, curl to press. So you should be pretty well recovered by the end of this 1 minute interval. You can bring your weights into position, maybe get some hip circles in these last few seconds so that you're coming in strong and ready to work for 6 minutes coming up. Let's get ready to move in 10 more seconds. Grab your weights. So again, your feet are just slightly wider than shoulder width. I want them to be as close as is possible while still having room for those weights. Let's begin. Squat it down, curl and press. Keep that weight close to the body. Be efficient. Find your power. Nothing like a bicep curl and overhead press to really help you feel strong. Squat it down. Make sure your knees aren't splaying open. I feel that tendency as the weights come in between to want to accommodate by driving the knees out, but keep them tracking over your toes. Here we go. We've got just 5 more seconds. And rest. Grab your heavy weight. We're coming into the staggered deadlift with a row. So again, this one, your elbow comes straight back, hugging into your side. Grab that weight. Opposite foot comes forward. We begin right now. Here we go. Fold the body in half. Square the hips and shoulders. So with this asymmetrical load, you might feel a tendency to want to twist either in the hips or in the shoulders to make that lift easier. What I want you to do is use your core integration to stabilize, to keep shoulders moving together, straight down and straight up. You got this. We've got 10 more seconds. And then we're doing the same thing on the other side. Make sure you're not sitting too far back, but you've got more of that forward movement with the weight and rest. Set that weight down, shake it out. So shorter intervals, but still we've got that quick turnaround. Heart rate should be climbing once again. Let's grab your weight, step that same foot back, and let's begin now. Hinge the body. Pull that elbow back and come up. Elbow straight back. Feel the work in that front glute. So time under tension at the bottom. It's like you're loading it and holding it there as you move through that row. Again, I want you to feel like the weight is moving into the ball mound of that working foot, but then you drive through the heel so that you're not pulling too much on the hamstring, but you're using that center, most meaty part of the backs of the legs. And rest. Set that weight down. Reverse lunge with the tricep extension is next. So again, with this reverse lunge, I really want you to brace the belly. So feel like you're closing that gap, hip points to low ribs, lifting through the chest. Let's take that weight overhead. Establish that core connection. And then we begin. We cross the front hip, come up, track the elbows, keep them parallel and up. So again, I had to switch there. This one, the limiting factor is the tricep extension. It should feel very challenging. You even have to slow it down and really dig deep to create that lift. If the straight arm twist is too much, you can always bring the weight to your chest and twist and push it up more like a press. So that option always available if you're feeling too much strain in the lower back. Rest. That one, pretty challenging, even with that lighter weight. We're coming into our side lunge next. So again, you can work with both weights or just a single dumbbell and switch hands each time. Let's get ready. 2 and 1. We come down and then one arm, upright row. Side lunge, chest stays lifted. Come up, pull. So we've got our side lunge, our side lateral squat, because it really is like a squat movement pattern. You're sitting back into that chair, keeping the chest elevated. We pair that with a pull action, pulling the weight toward your body. pull it up, step it out, sit nice and low, and pull. Get ready for that conditioning effort next. And rest. So I'm going to swap out for the heavier weights here as we get ready for that sprawl. So remember, you can always take low impact and step things back, or you can be jumping back to plank and up for your dumbbell deadlift. The weights are close to your feet are close together. Let's begin. Back, forward, deadlift. Really want you to drive the floor away. So you really feel that push through the heels, as opposed to thinking about pulling the weight up. Think about pushing the floor away. That simple mind shift can help you tap into the posterior chain a little bit more. When you think about pushing that floor away, we have a full minute of recovery after this, and then our shortest interval. Here we go. And rest. Set that weight down. Nice and easy. So I want you to avoid the temptation to just drop your weights or kind of lose the intention in between exercises. I want you to stay focused and in control, even in those in-between periods. So you're taking laps around your workout space. You are catching your breath, maybe just dynamic movement side to side. We don't want to crash in this minute interval, but we do want to help the body recover. So lengthen your exhales, but keep the body moving. Start to deepen that breath. You can hear it when it changes, when you kind of come back down below your high intensity threshold. It's like your body takes that big breath out. Take any stretches that you need, maybe kind of releasing any tension in the spine. And then we'll start to get our weights ready. We've got about 12 more seconds before we start our third and final round. This one, just 30-second intervals. They will move so quick. It's only a 5-minute round. Grab your weight and let's begin. Take it down. I'm going to start with the other arm this time to make sure I can even things out. Curl and press. You got it. Down and up. Get nice and low in that gorilla squat. Keep your chest lifted. Curl and press. I know that weight's heavy. I know you're getting tired, but we just have less than 5 minutes in this workout to go. Here we go. And rest. Grab your heavier weight. Come into position. So staggered deadlift with that single arm row. Again, I want you to keep hips and shoulders in alignment the entire time. Not twisting, not rotating. Let's begin in 2, 1. Here we go. Take it down, pull it back, down and up. Down, elbow back, and up. Breathe here. I know it's only 30 seconds, so really try to give it your all. Make the most of that working interval. We've got 10 more seconds. Bring it up. I know the breathing is heavy. You can hear mine, and my cues get fewer and farther between. Rest when the work is intense. So I'm breathing right here with you. I am struggling right here with you, but this is our time. This is our peak performance time. Let's grab that weight. Last round of your staggered deadlift with a row. 3, 2, 1. Part of what makes this session work is that we're going heavy. So I want you to feel that, experience the challenge that is available with these heavier loads. You are so incredibly strong and capable of moving heavy things, of tapping into your power, especially during this peak performance phase. 2 and 1. I think too often we see the menstrual cycle as more of a burden, but what it does is it gives us more of a spectrum that we get to play and perform inside this spectrum. So we get higher highs, and then we go lower with our intensity. because we have that wider spectrum. Here we go. Get too busy talking and forget the intervals. Tricep extension. So being a woman with a cycle just gives you access to such a wider range of lived experience. So it's not the same every day. You don't have to show up the same every day. You get to work extra hard in your ovulatory phase. You get to dial it back to lower intensity in your luteal phase, as opposed to staying sort of at this midway point through the whole month. You get to experience these wider ranges, a wider spectrum. Coming into our side lunge next. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Step it out. Come to the center. Upright row. You got it. Out and upright row. This is our second to last exercise. Pull it up. Just 30 seconds. These intervals are quick. And then we're going to finish it with your strongest, most powerful interval of this session, that sprawl. So get ready. Place those weights down. Grab your heavier weights if you have them. And we are getting ready to move quickly and efficiently. Feet are close together. We're getting ready in 5, 3, 2, and 1. Move quick, efficient, powerful. You got this. That's heavy weight, but you are strong. You're embodied. You can do it. You've got just 15 seconds left. How many reps can you complete with perfect form, with perfect mechanics, until that timer goes off? 5 more seconds. Lift it up. Last one. And rest. Set that weight down. Excellent, excellent work. That last burst, pretty high intensity, so I want you to walk around your workout space, take some time to guide your heart rate back down. One of my favorites for slowing it down is simply alternating between a lunge and a squat. So just keeping the body moving, but guiding that intensity back down. You might just be in a side lunge, trying to slow it down. You might be in your goddess squat, just circulating breath, starting to ground the energy and slow it down. So here, starting to feel that heart rate come back below the high intensity threshold. You're able to speak more freely without gasping so much for air. I am a little bit still up there, so just allowing that process to take place in the dynamic movement before we come into our cool down mode. So I encourage you to stay here as long as you need to. Hit the pause button if you will, and then we will reconnect with our cool down next. You have just completed your total body strength work, and now it is time to cool down. Hopefully your heart rate has come down quite a bit. You're kind of in that baseline, but still slightly elevated place. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. And then as you exhale, clasp either opposite elbows or interlace the fingers. Feel that deep chest stretch. I want you to draw the pubic bone toward the navel, so really knit the low ribs in. And then we'll fold over the legs. Keep your heart and head in the same elevation. So without letting the head dip too far below, you can release the hands here if you wish. Just kind of sway the hips side to side so you feel that inner thigh stretch, release any tension in the low back, lengthen the crown of the head away. And then we're going to turn over that right knee, let your left knee come down. Bring your right hand to your right thigh, press it down and forward to twist open. Then you have the option of coming down to that left forearm. So I really want you to feel the stretch in the hips, the spacious quality in the shoulders here. You can even come on to the knife edge of that right foot if you wish to get a little more space in the hips. We'll be here for a few more seconds. And then turn to the long edge of your mat. Here we're coming into a side lunge with a twist. So I want you to take the opposite hand to opposite knee and let your other arm open nice and wide. Using your breath here, finding those exhales. Again, just feeling that rotation in the upper back and that quality of the stretch across the bowl of the pelvis. Last one here. Now you'll turn over that left knee, let your right knee come down, left hand to the top of the right thigh, press down and forward. Option to bring the forearm all the way down. You can roll onto the knife edge of that left foot as long as you're pressing down, so we're not putting too much strain in the knee. We have that muscle activation to support the stretch. We'll be here for about 30 seconds in each stretch. And from here, you can come into your tabletop, let the forearms come down to the ground, press the palms into each other, root down through the pinky side of the hands, and then slide heart, belly, chest toward the thighs. So it's puppy pose, but with dolphin arms here. Great stretch for the shoulders and the spine. I really want you to shine your sitting bones up and back so you feel length in both sides of the waist. Breathing all the while. And then slowly come up. Let's zigzag the feet. So coming kind of into this figure four with your front knee. And then a modified pigeon. So I just want you to fold over that front leg and kind of shimmy and shake until you feel the stretch where you need it most. If you want to come into full pigeon, you can. And know that it's a pretty intense stretch, so we use this modified version when we're kind of just working through a quick cool down, and we haven't necessarily prepped the body for full pigeon yet. Slowly walk the hands up here. Take your whatever knee is forward. You're going to take that hand back. Reach the opposite arm behind. I want you to sort of circle away from your back hip flexor. You can bring your top arm, top hand to your head. So we're really looking for as much space as we can in the front line of the body. You can even inflate the lungs a bit, stretch away from your inner back knee there. And we slowly come up through center, windshield wiper the legs to the other side for modified pigeon, now on side two. So again, folding over, kind of adjusting the position of your back leg, that back knee, maybe bringing it closer or further away to find that stretch where it feels best in that other hip. So flexing the foot here, maybe softening heart, belly, chest toward the floor. And we'll slowly walk it up, once again taking that same side hand behind and then arcing the opposite arm up and back away from your inner back knee. You can take your top hand to the back of the head. You might even bring the forearm down. You should really feel this opening, that hip flexor complex, the psoas, in a way that doesn't require full flexion of the knee. So this is kind of my favorite way to stretch the hip flexors for all populations. And then slowly come up. Come into an upward table next. So feet are parallel. I want you to take your fingers, face them out, hug the heels of the hands in behind you so you feel that chest stretch. And then simply press through the heels of the hands, lift the hips. You might even take the head back and get that full stretch here. Keep knitting the hip points toward the low ribs so you're not puffing the belly up and out, but just really getting that stretch. Press through the heels of the hands to stretch the chest, and then slowly lower the hips to the earth. You can, in your own way, start to transition now into your ball pose. Get a little bit of a shimmy and shake there, and then slowly roll up. Nice and easy. Up to standing. We'll enjoy a huge breath in together. Inhale. Exhale, let it out. That completes your total body cool down for today. I want to take this moment to celebrate you, to thank you for showing up, for sweating with me, and for letting your body be moved.